Although our history has been sanitized, come with me as we shine a black light in the home that we call American history, showing the DNA that blacks have left on this country. It is June 22nd, and welcome to another day in Black Light history. I'm glad you're here. I'm your host, Big A. Let's get into it. Happy 46th birthday to NFL Hall of Fame cornerback Champ Bailey. Bailey would play his college football at the University of Georgia. With the Bulldogs, Bailey was a consensus All-American and a two-time first-team All-SEC selection. He won the 1998 Bronco Nagurski Award as Defensive Player of the Year. Bailey would later be inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. Although drafted by the Washington Redskins, Bailey would play the majority of his 16-season NFL career with the Denver Broncos. He would lead the league in interceptions in 2006 and would finish his career with 52 interceptions. Bailey was a seven-time All-Pro and was on the NFL's 2000s All-Decade team. In 2019, Champ Bailey was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Today we remember the life of dancing great Katherine Dunham. Dunham was born in Chicago in 1909 and was raised in Joliet, Illinois. She was a five-sport athlete at Joliet Central High School and would later join her brother at the University of Chicago. Due to her ease of socializing and fondness of people, it was recommended that she would go into anthropology. Dunham would eventually join the department and took an interest in dancing within the African diaspora. She would find a connection between the art of dance and black culture. Dunham would go on to receive her bachelor's, master's, and doctorate from the university. After graduation, Dunham would travel to countries like Haiti, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, and Martinique on a Guggenheim and Julius Rosenwald Foundation travel fellowships. It is during her ethnographic field work that shaped her love for dance. She would return to the States and earn another bachelor's degree, this time in philosophy. There came a point where she had to choose between dancing and further studies. Dunham chose dance. Her work in the art form led her to great esteem. The Washington Post would dub her Catherine the Great. Dunham began as a dancer while she was still an undergrad. Away from her studies, she danced as part of the ballet corps of the Chicago Opera. Dunham would eventually switch from ballet and focused on modern dance, founding several dance companies. Dunham's productions included numbers in several movies, national tours, Broadway revues, and the troupes would travel to over 33 countries. Later in her dance career, Dunham would open her own dance studio, the Katherine Dunham School. She would personally teach dance and develop the Dunham technique, her own unique flair to the art. Many well-known people graced her studio, such as Eartha Kitt, Marlon Brando, Gregory Peck, Sidney Poitier, Shelley Winters, Shelley MacLaine, and Warren Beatty were just some of her students. She would later become a professor at Southern Illinois University, teach a one-month residency at Stanford University, and was brought in for a semester to teach African American Studies at UC Berkeley. She'd published 5 books throughout her career. Dunham was fortunate enough to receive and enjoy her accolades while still living, which included holding 12 honorary degrees from American universities such as Harvard, Brown, Dartmouth, Howard, Southern California, Spelman, Southern Illinois, Tufts, Washington University St. Louis, and Atlanta University. Dunham's work was recognized around the world. She received the Grand Officer Legion of Honor and Merit from Haiti. Both France and Haiti designated her Officer of the Order of Arts and Letters. The country of Brazil awarded her the Southern Cross Award of Honor and Merit. The government of Trinidad and Tobago awarded the Caribbean Cross, and UNESCO awarded her the Medal of Artistic Merit in Dance. The American Anthropological Association granted Dunham the Distinguished Service Award in 1986. In 1999, the Smithsonian Institute bestowed her the Smith Award on her 90th birthday. The Dunham family trophy case also includes induction into the Black Filmmakers Hall of Fame, a Kennedy Center Honors, the National Medal of Arts, the Candace Award, and the Albert Schweitzer Music Award from Carnegie Hall. In New York City, Katherine Dunham would pass on this date in 2006 at the age of 96. On this day at Chicago's Comiskey Park in 1937, 23-year-old heavyweight fighter Joe Louis knocked out defending champion James Braddock in the 8th round to become the heavyweight boxing champion of the world. It would spark an 11-year title reign for Louis. Blacks around the country celebrated the victory. Poet Langston Hughes wrote, "Each time Joe Louis won a fight in those Depression years, even before he became a champion, thousands of black Americans on relief or WPA and the poor would throng out into the streets all across the land to march and cheer and yell and cry because Joe's one-man triumphs. No one else in the United States has ever had such a great effect on the Negro emotions Or on mine, I marched and cheered and yelled and cried too. Today we remember the life of journalist Ed Bradley. Born on this day in 1941, Bradley would attend college at Cheyney State College, now Cheyney University. He would major in education and played offensive line for the football team. Bradley became a teacher and fell into journalism during the 1964 Philadelphia race riots. In 1971, being fluent in French, Bradley moved to Paris. It was there that he was hired by CBS. The following year, he would be sent to Vietnam to cover the war. Later, he would be asked to cover Jimmy Carter's presidential run. Bradley joined CBS's news magazine program 60 Minutes in 1981, covering everything from segregation in America to the AIDS epidemic to the Catholic Church abuse scandal. Bradley brought journalism excellence to the forefront. Bradley has won 4 George Foster Peabody Awards, 19 Emmys including a Lifetime Achievement Award, 6 Alfred DuPont Awards, the Robert F. Kennedy Journalism Award, the Edward R. Murrow Award, and a Lifetime Achievement Award from the National Association of Black Journalists. Bradley would pass due to leukemia in 2006 at the age of 65. Born on this day in 1947 was science fiction author Octavia Butler. After receiving her 2-year degree from Pasadena City College, she would begin her writing career. In over a 5-year span, she would write her patternist series of books, which included her sci-fi historical fiction classic Kindred. In 1984, her short story Speech Sounds won a Hugo Award. The following year, her novelette Bloodchild won a Hugo, a Nebula, and Locus Awards. Her later work, The Parable of Talents, would help her snag a second Nebula Award. She is the first sci-fi author to win the MacArthur Genius Grant. Butler received an honorary degree of Humane Letters from Kenyon College. She would pass from a stroke and a fall in 2006 at the age of 58. In 2021, Butler was inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame. An asteroid 7052 Octavia Butler was named in her honor. Happy 62nd birthday to Phi Sigma Gamma member and Basketball Hall of Fame shooting guard Clyde Drexler. Born in Louisiana, Drexler played college basketball for the Houston Cougars. He was a 2-time All-Southwest Conference selection, and in 1983 was a Co-Southwest Conference Player of the Year and an All-American. In his last year in college, the Cougars would make their second straight Final Four appearance, and he would lose a heartbreaking yet classic game against the Jim Valvano North Carolina State Wolfpack. Drafted by the Portland Trail Blazers in 1983, Drexler had a 15-year career. For his career, Drexler averaged 20.4 points per game with 5.6 assists. He was a 5-time All-NBA selection, appearing in 10 All-Star games. Drexler was named to the NBA's 50th and 75th anniversary teams. He would win an NBA championship with the Houston Rockets in 1995. Drexler is inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame twice as a collegiate and a pro. On this day in 1982, Gina Bova and a mob of between 10 and 20 kids, all between the ages of 18 and 20, attacked 3 transit authority repair workers outside of a Brooklyn delicatessen. The co-workers stopped at the deli because it was 5 blocks from the job. When leaving, the youth started shouting racial slurs at them. The trio tried to leave, but the car stalled. That is when the kids pulled the men out of the car and started beating on them. 34-year-old Willie Turks was beaten and kicked to death. Bova was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. He was convicted of depraved indifference homicide, along with several other counts. And that concludes today's events. If you've enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe to the channel. And remember, powers try to erase our history, but today can be the day that you achieve something that we can discuss next year on Blacklight History.